Hey guys, Charles Williams here from CW Consulting, and this is part one of a series of mine called a Principles. Now, this is a collection of quotes that I've collected over the years and have applied lessons that I have learned as a leader. Now, the first one may sound a little bit familiar of the grass isn't always greener on the other side. And I love this quote, right? The grass is greener where you water it. And I cannot stress this one enough. See, when I first became principal of the school that I'm currently at, we were actually set to close. It was rough. When I came in, a lot of the teachers had left, students were leaving, and I could have very easily have said, this is not going to be the one for me. I'm going to walk away. I'm going to go find someplace else that is established. There are tons of schools in CPS that are rocking it out, that are doing great things, and it would have been very, very easy for me to say, I want to join a team that's established. I want to join a school that is excelling, so that way I can just kind of coast along and do those great things. But the reality is I didn't do any of those things. While it was tempting, I didn't do any of those things. Instead, I stuck around. You see, what I understood was that, maybe our grass wasn't so green, but all that meant to me was that work needed to be done. So I tried the traditional route of trying to figure out new curriculum and trying to buy textbooks and all of these things. And guess what? Nothing happened. Nope. Instead, we ended up with a renewal. By the grace of God, we got a renewal 2 years long, the shortest renewal that they gave any school that year. And instead, what we did was we took a real serious, hard look at what we were doing and what needed to be done. And what we realized was that our staff and students were not happy. See, we do this thing called the 5 Essential Survey. And in that survey, our students said, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe at the school. I don't feel safe outside of the school. I don't feel that I'm connected to the school. I don't believe that the people at the school have my best interests at heart. And you know what? The staff were saying some of the very same things. And so what we did was we put a pause on trying to figure out a new curriculum, this new instructional approaches, and instead we poured into our students and we poured into our staff, and we tried to figure out how can we make them happy? How can we make sure that they were taken care of? And it took an entire team. We adopted SEL practices. We loved on everybody. And you know what? It worked. Over the time, we saw huge gains. I mean, this past year, our attendance rating was at 97%. It was one of the highest attendance ratings in all of Chicago. And I kept being asked, what did you do? How did you get kids to come? And the reality is we created a place where they wanted to be. And not only them, but my staff as well, because if my staff weren't there, my students weren't there, and those two things go together. So we created a place where people wanted to be. Our students felt safe, our families felt safe, our staff were connecting to our students. It was all of those things just simply because of the work that we put in, right? I mean, our test scores did increase. We went from the 18th percentile to about the 50th percentile in math. Drastic gains. But the reality is that none of these things would have happened. None of them would have happened if we walked away, right? When the grass isn't as green as you want it to be, the truth is that you have to put in that work, and that work is never going to be easy. Just like real grass, it's back-breaking work. You have to tear things up from the root, right? You have to restart. You have to put down the seeds. You have to plant those seeds, and you have to water it. You have to commit. You have to care for it. And over time, those roots will take, right? Over time, that grass will grow, and over time, that grass will become just as green, if not greener, than it is in other places. But it takes hard work. It takes commitment. It takes a team and effort. So, first quote is a very, very simple quote. The grass is greener where you water it, because that is where you're putting in the work. So if you're in a place right now where you're tempted to maybe hop ship, jump over that gate, whatever you want to say, and go join another team simply because things are better, maybe we should start by looking inward and saying, what can we do where we are at to make sure that that grass is watered and taken care of and where it's needed? Because your grass can be just as green.